Hello crypto traders, this is Matthew here with Crypto Traders Pro, and today I want to talk to you about Bitcoin and the current analysis on it, where I think it's going to land on the charts, and where I think that lowest point is going to be. I'm constantly getting questions asking, where I think the bulls are going to come back in, where I think the lowest point is going to be on the chart. These are questions I get almost every single day in the community, and the reality of that answer is nobody knows. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows in this entire space where Bitcoin's lowest point is going to be, but I could give my best analysis as to where I think it's going to land based on previous patterns on the chart and looking at the previous levels it's landed on the chart and what percentage it's moved up and down, specifically in 2013, because 2013 is very similar to 2017 in many different ways. So let's go ahead and jump right here into the chart and let me explain. So back in 2013, there were two separate runs. So the first run happened early 2013 in January, all the way until about April, beginning of April 2013. So it was a 2,000% increase in price. This was essentially a parabolic move. And this is great to know and learn that parabolic moves cannot be sustained. They never do. This happened in late 2017. The run from 10K to 20K happened in a few short weeks. I mean, this was just parabolic move, and we know this will not be sustained. Remember that. Parabolic moves will not be sustained. There's always going to be a correction, whether it's stocks, whether it's Forex, gold, Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. Parabolic increases are never sustained. So a 2,000% increase beginning of 2013, followed by an 82% drop. So top to bottom here, this happened in two to 3 days. 82% drop in price. It went from 300 or 260 all the way down to $45. 82% drop, 3 days. Followed by consolidation phase. So this consolidation phase lasted from April until October. October, things finally started to heat up. Bitcoin started to increase again. Started with a slow, steady uptrend, and then it just absolutely went bananas. Parabolic move again. This was a 2,400% increase in price. So 2,400% increase in October until December? So 3 months, 4 months? It happened fairly quickly. Parabolic move, it's not sustained. So what happened after that? Well, we got a decrease in price. Unfortunately, this decrease lasted an entire year. So this whole red space, this is 2014. From here, the beginning of this red box, all the way until here, early 2015, we saw its lowest point ever in this market cycle. Bitcoin bled this entire year, slow, steady downtrend, all the way back down from 1,150 all the way down to $150. 87% drop over the course of a year. 2015 followed some consolidation. Then we started to get this slow uptrend. And this was really the turnaround point here that I want to kind of stress is $150 right here was the lowest point. It bounced up, had some consolidation, tried to break out here, fell back down. The next lowest point was $200. So this is what I would say is the beginning to a new uptrend. Even though it didn't follow this exact trend line, we know that it's making higher lows and starting to trend upwards. So 2015, start of an uptrend, going into 2016, slow and steady. This is the kind of uptrend I like. I like these slow, steady uptrends. We see the rally, we see the correction. We see a rally, we see a correction. Slow and steady wins the race, not the parabolic moves. I do not like parabolic moves. My portfolio does. My bank does. The money I'm making, I love it. But what I don't love is the correction that inevitably comes after the parabolic move. So we see the slow, steady uptrend headed through 2016. And I just wanted to point out, this is actually when I first started seriously getting involved in Bitcoin and learning about it. And this is all because I bet that Donald Trump would become the president of the United States, and I won. I won the bet. I put my entire week-long paycheck on this bet, and I decided to pull all my winnings out in Bitcoin because I thought it would be easiest to cash out in Bitcoin rather than getting a check and dealing with the taxes and all that mess behind it. So I'm just like, let's see what happens with Bitcoin. All I knew at the time, Bitcoin was another form of money. So I got Bitcoin about $700 in November 2016. Luckily, I got in right before a massive run. So $700 in the beginning of 2017, end of 2017 was nearly $20,000, a 2,500% increase. So are you seeing the pattern here? Previous runs in 2013, we saw a 2,000% increase, we saw a 2,400% increase, and now we see a 2,500% increase in 2017. So there's kind of a pattern that's forming. 2013, I say, is very comparable to 2017. And 2013, a lot of new money was brought in. That's when a lot of people came into this community, and those are what we call the early investors. I wouldn't say they're like the founders. Those were the 2010, 2011, 2012 people. 2013 is when that first wave of real people started getting involved. It started going a little bit mainstream, died off for a couple years. 2016 brought it back to life. 2017 just absolutely nuts. All over the media, a lot of people getting involved, businesses, institutional money, tons of good news coming out, tons of hype coming in it. So we had the run 5,000 to 20,000 in 2 months. Actually, it was a month and a half. Massive run. 25% increase. So this is where I need to take a step back and say, okay, now we've seen this. We've seen a 2,000% increase in 2013. We saw a 2,400% increase in late 2013. We saw a 2,500% increase in 2017. Where is the drop going to come? Well, the drop has been happening, but how low is it going to go? And that's the question I want to answer is, how low is Bitcoin going to go during this drop? So taking it back to previous drops, we saw an 82% decrease. We saw an 87% decrease. So my guess, and this is, I haven't heard many people predicting this, but my best guess would be $3,000. And here's why. Because if we take the percent from the top here at $19,800 area-ish, and we look at the bottom here at $3,000, we see an 85% drop. So let me go ahead and draw this out here. And this, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but there's a possibility, and this is where I'm putting my guess. And I certainly hope I'm wrong, because I really don't want to see an 85% decrease in price. This is really torching my portfolio too. So you guys aren't in this alone. I've been in crypto for a year and a half now, and it's hurting me just as bad as the next guy. But if we look at previous areas on the chart, we see 82, 87. I'm going to guess 85% decrease from the top, $3,000 area right here. So the next reason why I think $3,000 is looking at previous support and resistance levels on the chart. So we take it back here to middle of 2017. This was May, June, July. So we saw the run up, hit $3,000, rejected, came back down, tested it again, and then finally broke through. Ran to $5,000, rejected off 5K, came back down, retested the previous resistance area as support. So this is one of my favorite patterns, the breakout retest pattern. There we had the breakout, we had the retest of the $3,000 area, confirming that this is the new support. And then we had the run to 20K. So on the downside, we've seen this area act as support before, so we know on the downside it's going to act as support again. But we also see areas of support being 6K, which it bounced off of right here. We see 5K, which is somewhere down here, and we see 3K, which is down here. So any of these areas, or all three of these areas, is probably at least going to bounce. It might not be the bottom, but it's probably at least going to bounce a little bit, or maybe bounce back up to 10K or 8K or 7K. Who knows? But I think these are going to be the important areas on the chart. 3K, I am calling publicly. I think that's going to be the bottom. I really, really, really hope I'm wrong, because 3K is really going to put a hurt on my portfolio overall, and it's going to put a hurt on everybody's portfolio that didn't completely get out of cryptocurrency. And another thing is that Bitcoin is kind of controlling all the other altcoins right now. When Bitcoin goes down, all the altcoins generally tend to follow, and we're seeing that in the market right now. So right now, everybody's kind of suffering. And lastly, what I really wanted to point out here in the chart was the current market cycle. So really get a good look at this area right here in the red box. We saw the run up, we saw it come down, try to get back up there again, only got to 17K, set that lower high, again confirming the downtrend, setting a lower high, and then inevitably crashed back down. Now headed back to 2014, we see a very, very similar type of pattern. We see it ran up to 1,150, crashed down, tried to get back up there again, set that lower high, and inevitably faded back downwards. And in this case, it faded all the way down until the end of the year. I certainly hope we don't fade away all the way until 2019, but it is possible, and we really have to explore all those possibilities here with Bitcoin and the price action. So I also want to bring up some arguments here of why the price won't fall to 3K, and these are also important to take into consideration. And one of them being is that there's all this institutional money involved. There's a lot of businesses at stake here, and they don't want to see the price get that low. And a lot of them can really manipulate the price, or really push that price up, bump the price up, keep it afloat. They don't want to see it get that low because it's really hurting them. It's driving a lot of people out of cryptocurrency. One thing that I'm really concerned about is people got involved in cryptocurrency, but when they lose money, they don't have interest anymore. A lot of people have kind of washed out, and they might not come back. So it's really hurting the market overall in that sense. Another argument, and this is kind of a compelling argument here, is miners. So the people that mine Bitcoin, the people that are verifying these transactions on the blockchain, they do not want to see the price get as low as $3,000 because they're not going to be profiting. So depending on where you're at in the world right now, we're getting to those levels where Bitcoin is no longer profitable to mine. Some people throughout the world, it costs them $8,000 to mine one Bitcoin. Why would they want to keep mining Bitcoin and essentially spending money to earn more Bitcoin? It doesn't make sense. However, in the U.S., a lot of places in the U.S., it costs about $3,000 to $5,000. I say is a good range, $3,000 to $5,000 to mine one Bitcoin. So it could theoretically drop lower, but why would it drop as low as where it became not profitable to mine Bitcoin? It doesn't make sense. In large companies like Bitmain that are doing millions or billions of dollars in mining, no, they don't want to see the price get that low. It's going to affect their business, and it's really going to affect them. So especially a lot of these small-scale miners, why are people going to want to mine cryptocurrency if it's no longer profitable? It doesn't make sense. So these people could be trying to force the price up and not let it drop that low. But in the big scheme of things, we really don't know where it's going to go. We really don't know how far it's going to drop. It could go as low as, $1,200 or lower, 93% from the highs. I certainly hope it doesn't, but it's possible. We need to explore all possibilities. We can't just be a maximalist or forever bullish. We need to look at the reality of the chart, and the chart is pointing down. The chart's been pointing down for a while, so we need to figure out how low is it going to go and when that turning point is going to be. But I can tell you one thing, I'm going to be there when it turns around. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay in cryptocurrency. I'm here for you guys, and I'm here for myself. I mean, this is what I love doing, and I love traveling around the world and making videos and helping others get involved and educated in the cryptocurrency space. So that wraps it up for this video, guys. If you got value from this video and really enjoy this content, I would appreciate it if you guys could like it and subscribe also to our channel. I would also suggest you join our Facebook community, Crypto Traders on Facebook. We have a large community. There's about 50,000 people in there. We're talking every day about the markets and really trying to work together. So join our community, subscribe to our page, like the video, drop a comment, give me your feedback, give me your thoughts of where you think Bitcoin's going to go. Do you think it's going to get as low as 3K? Do you think it could go lower? Or hopefully, it bottoms out at 6K here or even higher. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if you think it's going to go lower or not that low as 3K. If you think it's going to go to 5K, 7K, 6K, let me know in the comments. I appreciate all feedback. So that's it for now, guys. I'll see you on the moon.